To the Austin's Audit Podcast. I'm your host, Austin Gerke, and for today's show, I'm going to be talking a lot about Dak Prescott and his new deal. Today is the deadline for all these teams to tag players, so it is franchise tag day in the NFL. Plus, I'll give you the games list for the NHL. Conference championship weekend conference championship week in college basketball with a week before the tournament. And let's see, NHL, college basketball. The NBA still has one more day. So that means I get one more day to not have to worry about that league, and I get to spend more time covering the sports I care about. So let's get into this with Dak Prescott. Dang it. Man. Come on, stay there. Nope. Come on. There. All right. See, people watching on Rumble or IGTV, you get to see the behind the scenes stuff of me freaking out when my microphone doesn't always work. But just move it around a few times and wiggle the audio jack on the headphones, and all of a sudden it wants to work again. So there we go. Got that fixed. Anyway, back to Dak Prescott. Let's go back to the thing here. Got a 4-year extension worth $160 million. 126 million guaranteed. Dallas fans, and I'm in the minority of this one, but he doesn't deserve that much money. Sorry. Not right now. All I'm warning you about, Dallas fans, is don't come crying to me when Dak Prescott leads your team to an 8-8 record and you end up finishing third in the NFC East again like you did this past season. Okay? I mean, I'll go into his stat numbers. We could do that. I'll go into his career stats from 2016, his rookie year, up until now. Okay, we'll do that. And you can tell me, well, he's good enough. Not $126 million worth. I mean, if he was that good, then how come they were 3-2? Or actually, they were worse before he got hurt. What were they, 2-3? They were 2-3 when he got hurt. Or they were 1-3 and then he got hurt in the third quarter against the Giants. But it's just, I don't understand. I mean, for Dak Prescott, yes, congratulations to the guy. For him, he probably thinks he earned that money. And he did play well enough to make Dallas have to do that. But this isn't just about the players, this is about the team too. Cowboy fans, all I'm saying is, not a ginormous fan of giving that much money to just him for an guy. And I don't think this is going to work out in the long run. Probably by the third year of his deal, all you Cowboy fans are going to be a little antsy going, God, that was a terrible deal. Just like you're doing with Zeke right now. Just watch. I mean, I'm going to go into a stat line since I got more time for this. We're going to go ahead and do that anyway. Ready? Let's go into his stat line from his rookie year in 2016 up till 2019. I'm not including 2020 because he only played 5 games, so obviously that stat number is going to be a little low. But let's go from 2016 to his last full season of 2019. All right, let's do that, and then I'll get into the franchise tag stuff. But let's see. There we go. From 2016 until 2019, he's had a completion percentage no higher than 67%, 67.8. He had a 68% completion percentage in 2020 before he got hurt, which would have been which is the highest of his career. But once again, I said he got hurt after 5 games, and it's kind of unfair to do that just to lump that in. Okay? For his touchdowns, let's see, for his entire Let's go with touchdowns now. 23, 22. That's 45 touchdowns. Plus another 22. That's 67 plus 30. 97. And then if you want to include 2020, it's 105 touchdowns in 5 seasons. Okay. That's fine. But remember, this is a team game. And he's only had one. Actually, no, he's had 2 years. I'll give him that. He had 2 years. Got Dallas a playoff win in 2 playoff appearances. 1 playoff win in 2 playoff appearances. And you want to give that man $126 million? You want to give him $126 million? And if some of you are going, well, what about Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes, in 3 years as a starter, has won a Super Bowl, been to 2 Super Bowls, and got to an AFC title game in his first year as a starter in 2018. Right? Right? Based on that resume alone, yeah, I could see why the Chiefs did that. Dak's resume? Okay. But not to give him $120 million. I would have franchise tagged him again. But it's Dallas. And all I'm saying one more time, Cowboy fans, don't come crying to me when your team for the next 3 years, maybe 4, maybe for the rest of this contract, that Dallas will probably be the 2nd or 3rd best team in the NFC East. Yes, I think Washington will be the class of that division for the next few years. I think the Giants are getting better. The Eagles don't really know what's going on there. So maybe you'll end up 3rd in that division for the next 3 years at least. And considering the expanded playoffs, you might make it in once or twice. But you're going to have to go on the road both times. And Dak Prescott is 0-1 in the playoffs on the road. I mean, okay. Be my guest. Not $126 million worth, but go for it. Speaking of the franchise tag, which is where Dak Prescott should have been, or should have been given, let's go into the guys that did get tagged and other NFL news along the way, and then I'll give you the games list to wrap this up. So, in other words, I put the BIG in reverse today. It's more of a starter pistol than anything else. So today, in the world of the NFL, is franchise tag day. Let me open the app up. We're going to go into the franchise tag tracker, meaning every team had 1 player to sign to make sure they didn't get a chance at free agency, or not a chance, but they made sure they didn't get to go to free agency. Every team got to choose 1 player, and 9 guys have been chosen so far before the 4 Eastern deadline, which is 1 o'clock out here out west. So that deadline is now passed. And, well, not apparently. Here are the 9 players that did. Chris Godwin is staying in Tampa on the franchise tag, which, okay, as a Buccaneers fan, okay, we get to keep Godwin. Would have loved to have given him a long-term deal, but okay. It's fine. He's going to make... How much is Godwin going to make? He is going to make... 65... So he's going to make $15 a year. He's going to make $15 million on this tag, which is, believe it or not, more than Mike Evans will in 2021. Evans is slated to make $12 million on the thing. Okay, it's fine. But Godwin's making $15 million. Other Buccaneer news, Levante David is staying in Tampa. He agreed to a 2-year, $25 million extension, which, okay, keeps Levante there. Godwin's staying, so really the only one left, just to get my fandom out of the way, The only one left the Buccaneers have yet to keep is Shaq Barrett, and then Gronk and Fournette. But Shaq is first on that list. And then everybody else, who knows? But you can have 8 days to do it. Or not 8 days. See, I keep thinking it was yesterday, but today is the 9th of March. But other players that got tagged today: Marcus Mays of the New York Jets. Taylor Morton of the Panthers. Allen Robinson is staying in Chicago on the franchise tag. So, Chicago, you get to keep your wide receiver. Maybe you might get Russell Wilson. Look, I've said Russell Wilson will stay in Seattle, and he still will. But I wouldn't be surprised either way if he goes. But right now, I still think Russell's staying in Seattle. Cam Robinson of the Jaguars got franchise tagged. Brandon Sheriff of the Washington football team gets franchise tag. Justin Simmons is staying in Denver. Leonard Williams is staying with the Giants. Marcus Williams is staying with the Saints. Dak was on this list, but that was before he signed the deal, obviously. Aaron Jones of the Packers. Wait, no. Okay. Because I'm at the bottom of this article on NFL.com where they're doing the franchise tag tracker. That's how I'm doing all this. See? Yeet. Just ignore the ad for the pizza. But the following are notable players who did not receive the franchise tag Tuesday and are slated to enter free agency next week. Aaron Jones is on the list. Kenny Galladay, Chris Carson, Shaq Griffin, Hunter Henry, and Jonnu Smith. So, honestly, if you're a team that needs any of those guys, go ahead and pay out that money. Who knows? I mean, if Aaron Jones is going to be a free agent, sorry, Leonard Fournette, but if Aaron Jones is on the market, I'll take Aaron Jones if that's the case. Jonnu Smith, no. Shaq Griffin of Seattle, no. Not that way either. But good news on the NFL front. Dakota Prescott still getting paid for the Buccaneers. Levante David is staying in Tampa, and Chris Godwin still in Tampa for one more year. So that's the good news on the NFL front. There's plenty of other ones, but that is for the St. Patrick's Day edition of the show, because everybody wants to get lucky on St. Patty's Day. Now let's get to the games list, and then I will be out of here for today. I might be back tomorrow. I'm not necessarily... Hold on. I don't know why my phone's not... There we go. Okay. Who knows? As far as the schedule for the show, I am definitely going to do a show on Sunday night after Selection Sunday. Going to give you my bracket for March Madness on this show Sunday night. As far as the release date for that show, it'll be in time for the first 4 matchups, wherever they decide to do them. And weirdly enough, for this year's tournament, the actual first round, where they do games from noon, or from my case out west, they do it from 9 in the morning till practically midnight the next day. Those days got moved up a few. Friday and Saturday are now the first round dates. Sunday and Monday are the second round dates. And then for the Sweet 16, it's Friday and Saturday for the Sweet 16, Sunday and Monday for the Elite 8. Or no, it's Saturday and Sunday for the Sweet 16, and then Monday and Tuesday for the Elite 8. And then they'll do the Final Four when they do the Final Four, which is on November 3rd. And the National Championship game is on, or not November, April 3rd. And then the National Championship game is on April 5th. So that is the plan for the bracket show. And speaking of March Madness, it is conference tournament time in college basketball. So we're going to jump right into that list first. Let me open up the app again. Gonna be a while, but yes, it's just funny how when you take a day off, all of a sudden all the news starts flowing in about this. All the sports news finally wants to get interesting. So, let's get right into the list. Let's go right to college basketball. Since we are at that time of year again, I'm not doing the top 25 anymore. I'm going to just do every game and every game that isn't completed. So, at this point, let's see, right now, Duke is beating Boston College 80-47. That's 3 minutes to go in the second half. That game is on the ACC network. Duke needs to win the ACC Duke needs to win the ACC just to even stay in this tournament. I don't think they'll win the tournament, but right now it's a good start for the Dukies. Iona is beating Quinnipiac. McNeese is beating Southeastern Louisiana. Long Beach State is beating Cal State Northridge 20-11. That game's early. Miami beat Pittsburgh, so the ACC is officially underway. So for tonight, we got Elon and Drexel. I'll take Drexel to win the CAA championship. Notre Dame and Wake Forest, I'm taking the Irish. Mount St. Mary's over Bryant. Cleveland State over Oakland. Let's see what other ones are more interesting. Yeah, we are on Tuesday. Cal State Fullerton and Cal Poly. I'm taking Cal State Fullerton. And Gonzaga over BYU. I might actually take a look into that game as well. And that might be the only games list for today. Well, actually, no. College basketball-wise, I'm trying to think of whether I want to do a show tomorrow or not, but I think I might have to now, considering that we're almost to that point where this show will be back to daily. I'm working back into it because I got to find out. So I guess tomorrow I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow for the rest of these conferences because now they're all starting to kick in. Right now it's the ACC. Tomorrow it's going to be all the other ones. The Big Ten, the Mountain West, the Pac-12. So we're going to have all the Power 5 conferences back. So I guess I will be back tomorrow, college basketball fans, and I'll give you my look on why. I'll even recap this game that I'm going to watch with Gonzaga and BYU. So now we're going to go right into the NHL. I know this feels like it's jumbled, but it's like I'm still trying to figure out whether I need to up this back up to daily right now. But as far as the actual show is concerned, I'm taking Gonzaga over BYU because they are the number one team in the country, and giving you a sneak peek into who I think will win the national championship. I think Gonzaga will. Considering how unpredictable this season has been, they've been the most consistent, even though they probably had the most postponed games so far this season. But they've been the most consistent. Have they been challenged? No, but I think BYU can give them one tonight. And as far as the NHL, let's jump into that. Rangers and Penguins are in progress right now. The Rangers are beating the Penguins 1-0. Bruins Islanders. I am taking the Bruins. Flyers over the Sabres. The Capitals over the Devils. The Hurricanes over the Predators. The Panthers over the Blue Jackets. The Maple Leafs over the Jets, the Lightning over the Red Wings, and the Blackhawks over the Stars. That's the list for today as well. I'm going to go back and see if I missed anything in the college basketball world, and then I will be out for today. Let's see if I missed anything. Hopefully I didn't. St. Mary's. Okay. No, I didn't. Because I was looking at all these other ones. Okay. No, never mind. Because I was doing all the ones that were seemed interesting. But until then, you've been listening to the Austin Untitled Podcast, and I've been your host. Wait. No. Jesus, Austin. This is what you get for going off rhythm. Duh. Okay. Thank you for listening and watching the Austin Untitled Podcast. I've been your host, Austin Gerke. Don't forget, you can listen to this show on Podbean. Just search for the Austin Untitled Podcast. You can also listen to this show on Spotify, Google, Apple if you know the trick, Deezer, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music as well. And Pandora. So if you have an Alexa-enabled device, just say, "Hey Alexa, play the Austin Untitled Podcast" on Amazon Music. You can also follow this show's Facebook page. Just search for the Austin Untitled Podcast. You can also follow me on Twitter for post-show interaction. My handle is @Austin_Gerke. And for my video people, if you want to watch this show on IGTV, you can follow me on Instagram. Just search for Austi Spamanti. That's AUSTISPAMANTI. Again, that's AUSTISPAMANTI. If you want to watch this show on Rumble, just search for AD Gerke. That is AD and my last name, which is GEHRKE. Make sure that search is set to channels, not videos. And once you're there, you'll get every episode up to this point, which as of right now is episode 168. So from episode 1 to 168, again, search for AD Gerke. Click subscribe and you will get every episode that I've ever made on Rumble. I know this seems jumbled, but I really wanted to focus on Dak Prescott, so I spent the show mostly on that, the franchise tag and the games list. I will be back tomorrow because we're almost at that point now where got to ramp this show back up to daily mode. So I will be back tomorrow. And until then, you've been listening to the Austin Untitled Podcast. I've been your host, Austin Gerke. Peace out.